Welcome back to SmartSpeak English. Today, we're diving into what I think are some really crucial little words in English.
Absolutely. Three small words that pack a big punch. Could, would, and should.
Right. They seem simple, but oh boy, they can really trip you up sometimes, can't they?
They really can. They're modal verbs, helpers, basically, that change the feel of a sentence, possibility, advice, imagination, that kind of thing. Getting them right is key for, sounding clear and polite.
Exactly. And strategic, like you said before we started. So we've gathered some thoughts on this, and our mission today is pretty straightforward. Demystify these guys.
Yep. Clear examples, simple explanations.
So you can use them confidently without that hesitation. Think of this as your guide to handling these verbal hurdles. Okay, let's jump in.
Let's start with could. Now, most people know it as the past tense of can.
Right. Like, oh, when I was younger, I could run 5 miles. Simple enough. Shows a past ability.
Exactly. Something you were capable of doing back then. But that's just scratching the surface, really. Well, what's really interesting is how could signals possibility. Like, it could rain later.
Ah, so not definitely going to rain, but maybe a chance.
Precisely. It's not certain. It just introduces the potential for something to happen. Very useful for not overcommitting in what you say.
That makes sense. And then there's the politeness factor, right? This is a big one for everyday stuff.
Huge. Instead of just, can you help me? Which can sound a bit demanding sometimes.
Yeah, a little blunt maybe.
You soften it with, could you help me with this report?
And it feels completely different, doesn't it? Much gentler.
It really does. It's more than just manners. It's kind of inviting the person to help, acknowledging they have a choice. It respects their autonomy.
So you're giving them space to say yes willingly rather than feeling ordered around. I like that. I've definitely noticed that asking, could you, gets a better reaction sometimes.
It often does. It fosters a more collaborative feel. Okay, so that's could. Shall we move on to would?
Let's do it. Would. This one feels a bit more imaginary.
That's a great way to put it. Would often takes us into hypothetical situations, things that aren't real right now.
Okay, give me an example.
The classic one is, if I had more time, I would travel the world.
Right. You're not actually traveling the world. You're talking about what you'd like to do or what you'd choose to do if things were different, an ideal scenario.
Exactly. It's about desire or intention within a condition that isn't met. Or think about offers.
Ah, yeah, like, would you like some coffee? That's super common.
It is. And why would? It's an invitation, not an assumption. You're offering a choice politely.
You're not saying, do you want coffee? Which is okay, but would you like feels, again, a bit softer, more considerate.
It does. It gives the other person complete freedom to accept or decline without feeling awkward. Very important in, social and professional settings.
Makes sense. And didn't you mention something about past habits, too?
Oh, right. Yes. Would can be used for reminiscing about regular past actions.
Like when we lived by the sea, we would go to the beach every weekend.
Perfect example. It paints a picture of a repeated routine in the past. Something that happened habitually. It has that nostalgic feel.
So it's different from just saying, we went to the beach.
Yeah, went could be a one-off. Would go implies it was a regular thing, part of the pattern of life back then.
Gotcha. Okay. Could for possibility and polite requests. Would for hypotheticals, offers, and past habits. That leaves should.
Should. This one's mainly about advice, recommendations, or expectations. What's considered the right thing to do.
Okay. So if my friend is coughing nonstop, I might say,
you should see a doctor.
Right. It's advice, a suggestion for their own good.
Exactly. It's not as strong as you must see a doctor, which sounds like an order. Should is more like strong advice, indicating what you think is the best course of action.
But you have to be a bit careful with should, right? Like you don't want to sound preachy.
That's a very good point. Context is key. Offering unsolicited shoulds can sometimes come across as judgmental. Used appropriately, it's very helpful.
Okay. And what about expectations?
Well, think about rules or guidelines. Students should submit their assignments by Friday.
Okay. It's stating the expected or correct procedure. It's not quite a law, but it's the standard.
Precisely. It outlines what's supposed to happen the proper way, like instructions. You should save your work frequently.
Good advice. And it can also be used negatively, right? Like a warning.
Yep. You shouldn't eat too much sugar.
It's advice again, but focus on what not to do. A caution.
Exactly. It's pointing out something potentially unwise or unhealthy, but still in that advisory tone.
Okay, this is clicking now. Could for possibility to politeness, would for imaginary offers past habits, should for advice expectations.
You got it.
So how about we try putting them together, see how they play off each other. Let's use that example we talked about. I could go to the party, but I should finish my homework. If I had time, I would definitely go.
Perfect sentence to illustrate the differences. Okay, break it down. I could go.
That's the possibility, right?
Right.
Going is an option. It's open to me.
Exactly. Then but I should finish my homework.
That's the obligation or the right thing. The advice I'm giving myself, maybe, or what's expected, my responsibility.
Mm-hmm. And finally, if I had time, I would definitely go.
That's the hypothetical desire. If the situation, lack of time, homework was different, my intention, my choice would be to go.
See how each one adds a different layer? Possibility, obligation, or advice, and conditional intention.
Yeah. It's actually quite elegant when you see it like that. Each word signals a very specific stance or perspective on the situation.
It really does. And mastering that nuance is what makes your English sound, much more sophisticated and natural.
So the key then is practice.
Always. Theory is great, but using them is how they stick. You need to make them automatic.
Right. So maybe just repeating phrases out loud like, ah.
Yeah, simple things. Could you pass the salt? Say it. Feel how polite it sounds.
Okay. Could you pass the salt? And then maybe, I would love to visit Paris. Imagining it.
Exactly. Or you should get some rest. Giving that gentle advice.
Or combine them about your own day. I could watch another episode, but I should probably go to bed. If tomorrow is Saturday, I would definitely stay up.
That's perfect. Doing that kind of internal monologue or even saying it aloud makes it second nature. It builds that muscle memory.
So the takeaway is, don't be scared of these little words.
Not at all. They're your friends.
Yeah.
They add so much color and precision to what you say.
Yeah.
The more you listen for them and use them consciously, the easier it gets.
Yeah. Try to actively use them in your conversations this week, even if it feels a bit clunky at first. Just try swapping a can for a could in a request or thinking, I would do X if Y.
The goal is to get comfortable so they just flow naturally without you having to puzzle it out each time.
And understanding them helps you express yourself way more precisely and politely.
Definitely. It's empowering.
Which brings us to our final thought for you today. Something to chew on. How might actively listening for could, would, and should, when you hear other people speak, maybe in meetings, or even watching TV, how might that reveal deeper meanings? The intentions behind the words. Are they just stating a possibility with could, or are they hinting at something more? Is should genuine advice, or maybe subtle criticism? Is would just dreaming or expressing a real longing?
That's a great point. Paying attention to how others use these modals could really sharpen your understanding of conversations, picking up on subtleties you might have missed before.
Maybe you'll notice how people subtly manage expectations, offer choices, or frame their advice. It adds a whole new layer to listening.
Food for thought, definitely.
Well, that's all the time we have for this deep dive. Thanks so much for joining us.
We hope this clears up some of the confusion around these common but tricky words.
Until next time, stay curious, keep listening, and keep exploring language. And hey, if you found this useful,
please do like, share, and subscribe to SmartSpeak English.
It really helps us keep bringing you these insights. Thanks again.